So now we're on this traditional section. The pitch of the roof is 45 degrees, that's what this steel is. Our first job is to rip the timber into the steel there, and I'll do one side first and then I'll drill through the timber and the steel and then fit the other side, and then I can drill all the way through timber, two timbers and the steel. I've got a really easy method for marking these rafters up, but first of all I will start ripping the timber down for the steel. So now we have fitted that timber to the top, ready for this side. Nate's going to cut a 45-degree cut on that, because we know this is 45 degrees. And then, dead easy way of doing it, they want it a little bit higher than this steel, so like 10 to 20 mil. So I'm going to just clamp these 18 mil bits of ply, top and bottom, and then literally we'll offer the rafter up with a 45-degree cut and bring it past the bird's mouth. Keep it flush to the 18 mil and then just mark the bird's mouth on that. As long as the bird's mouth's not more than 1/3 of the timber, you're all good. So yeah, I just offer it up rather than trying to measure it and stuff, just draw the lines on.
On the breakfast show, on home time with Bush and Richie, your chances to win are all excellent. Take your photo to a whole new level with the Honor Magic 7 Pro.
A whole new level?
Yup, I know.
Designed for the shortest cycle, it blasts away invisible dirt and sweat even in 15 minutes.
Non-odor, better on circuits.
Buy Persil Wonder Wash now at your local supermarket. Versus leaving Persil liquid in 15 minutes. Physical removal of stains and mallow removal.
We just had to change the plywood out for something a bit thicker because the timber wasn't going above the steel, so something's worked out a bit differently on this one than the other two. The steel must be a bit lower than the wall than the other ones. So yeah, a bit of timber on it and that's sorted out. It's just reduced the bird's mouth as well, but that's no problem. So you see how we just marked that up dead easily. Then we'll check it here, check it on the other side. We'll make sure that steel's in the middle, like measure from plate to steel on both sides. Once we're happy with that, that rafter, we'll just cut a load then and fill out this whole side. So now we're happy with the pattern spar. We'll just use that as a jig and just cut all the rest of them. I'll start marking the plate. There's a few down there, I'll explain in a bit, that just need the cutting straight up from the bird's mouth, because we need to build a stud and then the ladder end comes down as well, so not all of them run all the way through. But yeah, we'll cut them, mark all the plate and the steel now, and then we'll get them fired in. On this drawing it does show valley sections going in here, but like I was saying before, if there was a hip coming down, if there was a valley rafter coming down, then it would get in the way of the ceiling line. So we spoke to the truss people and basically confirmed that we're going to run all the rafters through. So our next job will be to run them down onto that girder truss there. We'll bird's mouth it around the back of the girder, and then it'll just make it all easier inside. It'll just look better. So that's our next job on this section. So our next job now is to rework out the rafters. We'll use that one onto the wall plate as a pattern spar. We need to work out the bird's mouth on this. So what we'll do, we'll bang a level on the back edge of this truss and run into that, and then same with this side, and that'll give us a new bird's mouth down here. We'll mark it on that, and then we can measure it from the ridge up to that. We'll check it along here a few times and that'll be right. So just making it simple, just put level on that, run it across into that rafter, the same on the back. Let's get that flush, yeah man.
On that side as well.
There now. So now we've marked, so that line there is the top of the truss, and this is the side. So basically that there will be coming out once we've just continued their marks, and we'll just cross them at 45 degrees because that's what the roof is, and then we can get a length then to the back of this girder.
Absolutely, no repeat guarantee is treating you well. Yes, as we embark on a brand new week together, we will not be ashamed. From that Dyson and the social media. So early on this morning, from James with the morning chime. He did this one over the Valentine's weekend.
171. So I've just taken the plumb cut all the way up to the top, and then when we measure it, we can just measure the top edge from top edge there all the way down, and then 171 will take us down to the new bird's mouth. So now Nath will hook on there, down to there. What have we got? 30. What?
62.
62. 3062 to the top edge of that. So then our rafter now, 45-degree cut on the top, and then we'll hook on that very top point. 3062 was it? 3062. Keeping it on that same top edge, and we'll go 45 from that. And then our measurement down from the top, 171. Small bird's mouth again. 171, and then 45 the other way. And then I'll take that 45 all the way along as well. And then if you just measure this truss here, that's like 145. We don't want the rafter to stick down below the ceiling line, so I'll come, let's say, 130 down from that. Take that off as well, and then that'll just be about 10-15 mil above the ceiling line, so that'll all come off and the bird's mouth will come off. Now we've got this one cut, we'll try it there and there, so we know that girder's right all the way along, and check the upstands on the steel are the same, because that's really our reference of length when it's out there, because we can just pull the bird's mouth tight, but it might be wrong up there to the rest of them. So we'll check that's right, and then we'll just use that as a pattern spar. So now we're happy with the pattern spar, we'll cut 1, 2, 3 at that, because that one ends up being here, so it needs a hanger wrapping round, and this first one, which won't be taking much weight because it'll be stitched to that, needs cutting on top of them gang nails there. So we'll just cut 3 at that, and then we'll do the rest after. So we've cut that bird's mouth in nice, and then what you'll see what I mean then about that being higher. Let me just get this on it. That being higher than the bottom of the girder truss, so then it's not in the way of the plasterboard line. We just kept them out the way. So now we've got these 3 in. So for this one here that gets cut, just a plumb cut, just tight into that and then a hanger wrap round. I'll bang me level from truss to truss and on there, and then we can mark just the back edge of that, and then that will give us a length then from bottom point to bottom point of the rafter, and then the 45's plumb cut will just be straight up, same as the top, and that'll just go into that with the hanger on it. Well, we could just put it on the top edge really, couldn't we? Okay, these 45, 2, 8, 5, 6, 2, 8, 5, 6. So we just measured that on the top edge because we've 45 that whole thing down, so the measurement's the same there as it is on the bottom edge if you keep your tape on the same side, if that makes sense, because the cut's the same angle. So like you saw on that time lapse, I just nailed a bit of freebie 2 underneath, and then I could just rest that down into it. We just check the level, top and bottom, on the plane of the roof, and then that's shot in there now. And then we will have to put a seat cut on that. We'll just go and check the size of the hanger. If it's 60mm, let's say, make sure that's 60mm seat cut, so then the hanger doesn't hang below the ceiling line, and then that will just wrap around onto this. The flange of the hanger will wrap around onto that girder, so that'll be solid. So now we've just got this last one to do. I start off by nailing some blocks, like on that one over there, nailing some blocks because this will need insulated board on it, so then by the time you get the 50mm board, that first rafter will be for the plasterboard. So we'll nail the blocks on first, and then we can work out how to seat cut it onto that girder truss. So what we've just done, we've put our tape up, the same up standard that from the steel, measured down to this point, so basically put the level under them like that and marked that top point, and it goes around. So that there is our bottom corner, so if it was on this rafter it would be like that there, and then we 45 seat cut, and then we'll just do a backing angle of about 40 degrees on the circuit backwards. Changing that now, we're not going to put backing angle on it, we'll just straight off but 45 degrees because them gang nails are all in the way. So you can see what I mean there, we just put a 45 seat cut on it rather than trying to splice it in that way as well, because all the gang nails are in the way. And it's all stitched to this anyway, so it's solid. So yeah, this section is all done now. So now we're going to do a video, separate video, of how we drop the valleys in and the ladder ends, and that's stud. And same on this side, this valley here. So we'll use the hip timber as lay boards now instead of hips.